Hey, what's up? I'm Ash, and today I'm shooting Mike's absolutely immaculate 1957 Chevy Bel Air. So this was built by the guys at Pat's Pro Restos, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because they're responsible for some of the most elite level show cars to come out of Queensland. And this Chev is on that list. So let's take a look. This colour scheme is just so beautiful. You've got that candy brandy wine paint, you've got this plum purple interior, and then with those burnt bronze features, it's just stunning. And these kind of paint combos, this is what Pat is so well known for as well. He's just got such unique ideas in the designs that he dreams up. He just has this incredible eye for making something so unique.
Mike bought the 57 Bel Air Sport Coupe out of Adelaide 20 years ago, and it then went on to sit in his shed for the next 15 years, until Pat and his talented team got their hands on it. Mike told them he wanted something that looked nice and was drivable, and they certainly delivered. He picked out the paint and the wheels and left everything else up to Pat. The pillarless shell didn't just need a ton of repairs, most of the hanging panels were actually missing altogether. The team at Pat's replaced the quarter panels, floor pans and roof skin and sourced a new bonnet, boot and guards to make the Chevy complete again. Once they sat the body on the running gear, they went to work, smoothing the Chev's lines before laying down the House of Colour brandy wine paint, complemented by fresh chrome. The level of detail underneath this car is a testament to the quality of the shop and the attention to detail of the entire build. It is just next level. Fulfilling Mike's brief of a drivable show car, Pat spec'd an Art Morrison chassis and converted the car to right-hand drive. The chassis was delivered as a rolling setup, including strange engineering coil-over suspension, rack and pinion steering, sway bars, Willowwood disc brakes on all corners, and an AME full-link rear end that holds up a built 9-inch diff.
So I'm trying to shoot and use the fins to actually frame some of the details, to have them in the corners of my shots. Number one, it kind of leads your eye, but also it's just more interesting to me than just a close-up. So for example, that shot that I've just taken using the fins to frame the photo, that's always dependent on the kind of car as well. So I'm really making use of the lines because these 57s have such a beautiful shape, and that kind of determines how I'm going to shoot the car as well. The technique in lighting it, where the light's going to fall. And for example, shooting an XA Falcon would be very different to shooting this 57. So I'm trying to use the light to create some lines to really show off the shape of the front of the car as well, which is working, and that's always trial and error on different heights to hold the light. So I have been working with a 10-second shutter speed to do the boot with the light painting. I'm going to give myself 15 seconds to do the engine bay. And my aperture, I like to keep around 8, and my ISO as low as she'll go. And I'm going to try to get a bit of light in that interior as well, because we can see that in the image. Ooh, that looks good.
Sitting pretty in the immaculate engine bay is a 6.2 litre LS3, a hot unit straight from the Chevrolet Performance catalogue that makes 525 horses with perfect street manners. The modern transplant allowed them to use a pre-tuned ECU and drive-by-wire throttle package by Chevy Performance, making the tuning and fitting a lot easier. And to finish it off, the LS3 has been dressed with a custom engine cover, intake and airbox finished in gold Cerakote, and that's paired with polished rocker covers to tie in with all of the bright work across the car.
Oh wow, even the reflection of the underside of the bonnet is just like a mirror. I'm just having a flick through. Look at how tidy that reflection is in the bonnet. In the paint in the bonnet, it is so clean. It's like a mirror.
The interior was fully retrimmed with a plum and grey colour scheme and plenty of modern comforts. Bench seats have been sculpted to offer more support, while plenty of billet and 3D printed parts add shapes and subtle additions that the designers of the 50s could have only dreamt of. Creature comforts tie back to Mike's brief. Little luxuries like fully functioning air conditioning and a tastefully integrated stereo make the big Chev as easy to cruise as she is to look at. We were spoiled for choice when it came to finding a spot to shoot the exteriors. We drove out to Mike's stud farm and found a wide open space, so I wasn't having to deal with any reflections in the paint. Having so much space also meant that we could manoeuvre the car to make sure that the sun hit that candy paint at the right angle and we could see the depth of the colour. And as the afternoon went on, the softer light was also gentle enough to keep the chrome highlights from blowing out, which was more difficult in the harsher light. I shot all angles of the car while the sun was up, and although I could have stopped there, I decided I wanted to play around with some light painting. Rather than waiting until it was completely dark, I wanted to capture the purple colour of the sky, so I set up my tripod and ran my light across the car as I usually do, but making sure not to step in front of the camera at all, as this would expose me in the image, unlike light painting in complete darkness, which is my usual technique. I could have lit up the car with strobes, which would have been faster and maybe easier, but I really wanted to lean into the 57's iconic shape and follow those sleek lines very intentionally with my light, which worked exactly as I'd hoped by mimicking the shape and creating one single highlight that ran up the whole car, especially in that side-on pic. But before we run the pics, I'd just like to note how much I love this car. The Tri-5 Chevys are such a timeless and iconic design, and this 57 does them the ultimate justice, with outstanding craftsmanship and custom mods that exercise restraint, doing simple things at an exceptionally high level. But that's enough from me. Let's get a better look at the pics.